Through 17 years of industry experience, I feel that the SaaS application Smart Border is your ideal candidate for day-to-day operations. Hey, transportation community, this is Luis Lopez, aka the Freight Guru, and today we're going to be talking about creating a 7512, specifically creating the 7512 using Smart Border. Smart Border is a SaaS application that is very user-friendly, easy to use, and can really help you with your day-to-day operations. We're going to be creating a 7512 in Smart Border utilizing this SaaS application. Get ready to utilize this application using Smart Border, and through 17 years of industry experience, I feel that the SaaS application Smart Border is your ideal candidate for day-to-day operations. What is a 7512? The CBP Form 7512 is better known as a Transportation Entry and Manifest for Goods form. This is a form used by customs to determine the nature of the goods being brought into the United States via transport. There are three types of 7512s you can utilize in Smart Border. I want to discuss now what three types of 7512s you can create. Three types of inbonds: IT, T&E, IE. IT, immediate transportation, used to move merchandise inbound without paying duty and taxes and no examination possible until the goods arrive at the port of destination and entry is filed. IE, immediate exportation, used to export merchandise from the same port of origin. T&E, transportation and exportation, used to move and export merchandise at another port other than the port of origin. Why I chose Smart Border as my SaaS application for customs processes. Easy to use technology that scales with your business. Smart Border was designed from the ground up to increase productivity and customs compliance for low and high volume brokers, carriers, and importers. Hundreds of companies now rely on it to smooth the importation process for almost every type of commodity, from fuel to produce to textiles. Smart Border is a great SaaS application no matter what size business you are. If you're creating 5 documents a month or you're creating hundreds, Smart Border is a great SaaS application. 6 key components that I believe makes Smart Border unique. Your business is unique. Smart Border was built from the ground up and is able to integrate with your specific infrastructure. Endless scalability. Smart Border has the capacity to handle all of your transactions now and in the future. Workflow friendly. Smart Border was designed by brokers, making it intuitive, logical, and efficient. Get it right the first time. Smart Border's integrated data verification function and tariff database that is updated daily help you ensure that your submissions are accurate. Perfectly customizable. Smart Border allows you to operate the way you want. Fast and secure. Our large customer base allows us to offer the best MQ series fiber optic connection transmitting directly into CBP system. Now I want to show you a live demo of the Smart Border SaaS application.
Hey guys, this is the Freight Guru here, and we're going to do a Smart Border live example. And basically, I'm going to give you an example of a inbond from Port Everglades 5203 to 5201 Port Miami. The mode of transport is going to be domestic transportation. Normally going to be an intermodal or container drayage company. Our document that we're going to use today is this document right here that you can see. It's an IT. So for the draymen out there that are bonded carriers, a value-added service that I think can really help you is creating inbonds for customers. This is an example of an inbond that we're going to be creating. And this inbond here, we are going to convert into 7512 T&E or IE using Smart Border. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create this inbond using Smart Border. So step 1 is going to be to go into the Smart Border application. If you have not signed up to Smart Border, It's something that you can do rather quickly if you are a bonded carrier. The smart border fee is normally between $75 to $81 a month for the SaaS subscription. And if you've watched my previous YouTube videos, we talked about SaaS and how important it is to use SaaS applications in order to grow and improve your business. So step one is Inbond application creation. So here we go. We're going to click on Inbond. And you're going to see here, you're going to click on that white page. You're going to create an Inbond. We're going to start from scratch here on creating this Inbond. So I'm going to utilize as a reference number, I'm going to utilize the Inbond number that I have here. So that 231-622-879. I'm going to use that as the same shipper reference number. The client is going to be, you're going to search, I'm going to use Freight Hub, which is the client. And the bill to is going to be Freight Hub. Next thing you're going to do is open Inbond document. Now you can import a previous document, but for purposes of this demonstration today, I'm going to do a document from scratch. The first thing you're going to do on the left-hand side is you're going to look at the Inbond document that you got from the domestic carrier. And you see on the top here, it says class IT. So you're going to put the word IT here. And you're going to put the Inbond number. As you can see here, it's going to match that Inbond number, 231-622-879. Now, the next step is you got to put the port that it's coming from, right? And in this case, the port is Port Everglades. So you can put here, you're going to click on this button here, and you could either type in the word Port Everglades, and it'll provide you the proper port code, which is 5203. Now you have to put your Inbond number. Now this is important. This is not, this Inbond number that I'm putting here is an Inbond number that I generated using my customs generated Inbond algorithm. Now it's really important to understand that you're going to have to reach out to customs in order to get a list of Inbond numbers. This is not something that you can make up. You're going to have to reach out to your local customs office and get an Inbond sequential number set up for your company. So if you don't put the right Inbond number, it's going to let you know that this Inbond number already exists. So that's a good sign of how this is going to work. If you have not already, you have to create the proper Inbond number. If you do not create the proper Inbond number, it will let you know. So now we have added the Inbond number. Again, this Inbond number is a sequential number specifically to our company. So you cannot just create a random Inbond number. Now, in this case, when it comes down to deciding whether this is an IE or T&E, it depends if it's crossing another port. This came in from 5203, and as we've looked at here in the live example, this is going from 5203 to 5201. So it's not staying in the same port. If it was staying in the same port, 5203, and going to back out on 5203, that would be considered an IE. But since it's converting into 5201, it's crossing one port from another. This is actually considered a T&E. Okay. Now, For warehouse movements, if it's going into a specific warehouse, this is where you would put the warehouse that it's going to. In this case, it came into a warehouse hub. So this is where you would put the warehouse that it's coming in. Now, if you're moving this domestically, right? MOT, mode of transport is domestic by drayage. In this case, if it's a container, which it is, you're going to want to put the carrier that you're going to be moving this with. So in this case, it's going to be freight hub, or excuse me, we're going to put the SCAT code for freight hub. Here we go. And here is where you would put the bonded carrier ID. So the bonded carrier ID is going to be the EIN number for that carrier. You would put the bonded carrier ID here. And it asks you, it lets you know you got to put a dash in between the first two digits. Okay. Here is where the port that it's going to be going to. In this case, we decided it's going to go to 5201, right? So we decided it's going to go to Port of Miami, 5201. Now we have to pick the port that it's, or the destination, final destination point. And for this example here, we're going to go to Santiago, Chile. So if you click here, Santiago, now, as you can see, Santiago, Chile doesn't work. And this is where it's really important for you to go to the export documentation that was provided, which is critical for you to be able to have in order to properly do the document. As you can see, Santiago, Chile was not available. So that's not a port of entry. Okay. So what happens when Santiago, Chile is not available is you would have to go to the export documentation that should be provided to you. And I'm going to open that up for you right now. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So here's the export booking, right? The final destination is Santiago, Chile, but that's not the actual port that it's going to. It's actually going to San Antonio. The port is San Antonio, as you can see there. So it's really important. Now, if you type in San Antonio, Chile, that's the port that it's going to, okay? Now we put the proper port that it's going to, right? So that's San Antonio. You would have only been able to get that information from the export booking. Okay, so that export booking is critical. You must have that export booking information. The other thing that's really important to do is put the booking number, as you can see here. This booking number needs to be here on additional carrier information, because this booking number is going to be the export booking number that's going to be referenced to show proof of export. Other thing that I want to provide you today that I think it's critical for you to provide to any carrier that you're working with is going to be a power of attorney. And that power of attorney is critical because that power of attorney is going to provide access to that carrier to giving you the POA to validate this shipment. Here is a copy of a power of attorney. This is a sample power of attorney that I provided you today, that if you're using a carrier, if you're not a carrier and you are a broker or freight forwarder, you need to make sure that you provide this sample template to the carrier. They must acknowledge and sign this so that you're allowed to utilize their bond in order to execute this 7512. Here you're going to put the consignee and the foreign shipper. So in the consignee here, we're going to go back. The consignee is going to be Tools and Trade, Chile, SA Ave, Main Street, Providencia, Santiago, Chile. So we're going to put that information here. The foreign shipper is going to be on the 7512 that you've executed, as you can see it here. And it's going to be right here, the consignee. So you got Freight Hub. So now you've gotten the consignee and you got the foreign consignee. Okay. Now you got to you have to get the foreign port. As you can see here, the foreign port on the IT is empty. Okay. So the reason why the foreign port's empty here is probably because it had various foreign ports. So you could leave this empty as well. Then you're going to put the issuer code. And you're going to put the bill of lading number. The date of sailing was left blank. We're going to leave that blank, and imported on, it could be because it's various, most probably just various foreign port codes. The last foreign port is empty as well. Exported from, it's going to be empty as well because it's various. And the goods right now are M142. So you got to pull the information from the previous Inbond in order to execute the Inbond for outbound tender. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to put value. If you don't know the value, then you could put $20 per kilo. In this case, we are provided the value. And the value here, 32,677. Here's where we're going to put the vessel and the voyage for outbound freight. So in this case, you're going to go back to your export documentation. And as you can see here, Maker's Gate. So you got Maker's Gate 118S. Okay. Next up, you're going to do in Smart Order is you're going to click right here on bill of lading. Here's where you're going to put the number of packages. UOM is the type of package. These are cartons. A carton. You're going to put the weight, 11,066. You got to put what type of weight, if it's in kilos or in pounds. In this case, it's in pounds. Here you would put the previous Inbond. So in this case, it's the 231-622-879. The foreign port is going to be where this is going to, and we've already decided that it's going to San Antonio. It's Chile. Here you would put the quantity of Inbond if it's going to be less than the full amount. In this case, we are exporting the full amount, so it's not partial, so you don't have to leave anything. You can leave this blank right here. So now you're going to add the harmonized tariff classification, if applicable. In this case, it's not because we're not paying duty. You're going to add the information of the container. You're going to add the description. You're going to add all the relevant information. So first step is you're going to put the type of container. This is going to be a 20-foot or 40-foot container. That information would be available to you on your export booking. In this case, let's see what this size of the container, if it's available in the document. You see, it's got a 40-foot container. So we're going to put 40-foot container here. "40-foot closed top." You're going to add the description. So it's 450 piece count, 29 pallets containing 900 201 pieces of hand tools in 450 cartons. You're going to put here the number of pieces. It's going to be 450. And you're going to press OK. It does require the container number. So right now, if you don't have the container number, you'd leave it blank, but you would have to put the container number in order to execute the order. So we're going to add the container number right now. Now you've executed putting the proper relevant information on the body of the document. You've put the container number and you put the details related to the document. The only thing left you have to do is the footer. So here you're going to put entered or withdrawn. You're going to put Freight Hub, which is the company that's providing the document. The agent or carrier is going to be Freight Hub, and I'm going to put the SCAT code. And then here you're going to put the export port, which in this case is going to be 5201 based on the information we provided. And now you've completed the inbound. You've completed all the information on the inbound, and you can execute the inbound by file, saving, and then printing the inbound. Once you've printed the inbound, you can execute validating the inbound on the document. So this is creating a 7512 in Smart Border. I hope this clarifies on how to create the document, as well as in future episodes, we'll be discussing validating and exporting in Smart Border. This is creating the 7512 in Smart Border.
I've also created a carrier POA template that you can use for all your carriers. Thanks for watching that Smart Border demo. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope now you have a clear and concise process on how to create your 7512s. I highly recommend using Smart Border for your SaaS customs application. Their subscription platform is great, dynamic, and very scalable. Let me know what you think of the YouTube video that you're watching today, as well as please subscribe to our YouTube channel.